Good evening, everybody. From a clean-shaven photo Dave, I am far more stoked about that than anyone probably should ever be. I don't feel like I have birds and other such critters growing out of my face, and it makes me feel better about life. It makes me feel clean. That's what it is. But for everybody out there who's going to catch this on the replay, here's the question. What do you think of MAFEX action figures in regards to action figure photography? In regards to taking the snappies? I'm curious because for my money, they are bar none the best line, especially when we're talking IPs. They are the absolute best line for taking pictures, just based on how they look, based on their articulation, based on their accessories. I know they're pricey, but that's if we live in the States. And yes, I know the vast majority of you that listen to me live in the States and Canada. Like, we're over here. We're in the Western Hemisphere and all that good stuff. But if you're in Japan, the prices I don't think are ridiculous. I think they're around 40 or 50 bucks, maybe what we would pay if we were in Japan. So I just feel like, yeah, shipping sucks, and yeah, we have to pay a lot of money for our MAFEX fix, but I just think they're the best figures out there, bar none, for figure photography. So again, that's for the replay crew. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments. Poor favor. Now, we have AR in the chat, having a good time. Woo, chimichanga. I don't have a chimichanga today. Deadpool probably has, though. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, you forgot the eye. Let's see. I ain't going to be here for the stream. That's okay, AR, man. I appreciate whenever you just pop in. Let's see. I got to go to a parade because my sister's in it. Oh, nice. Wait, oh, what? What? Never mind. I'm still here. Excellent. Oh, man. Oh, never mind. Don't worry about it. Actually, AR, now that you are here, I want to get your thoughts on a couple things. Tonight's stream is going to be about MAFEX, but I'm kind of excited about some things that have been popping up in my feed recently. And I figure you might agree. I really dig these missing link figures, but okay, this is Bumblebee. Bumblebee's overplayed. There is one character that never gets the love he deserves, and that is Cliffjumper. And in this line, Cliffjumper is getting the love he deserves. And for those who don't know, Cliffjumper was my very first Transformer. Like, I guess my very first two Transformers were Gears and Cliffjumper. So, like, Gears almost never gets any kind of love, and Cliffjumper, the love that he tends to get is Red Bumblebee repaint. And that's not cool. I mean, clearly, these are distinct vehicles. Yes, they're the same skeleton, but they're totally different figures. They're totally different characters. So I see this stuff, and I'm like, man, I need that Cliffjumper. Like, even if I didn't get Bumblebee, even if I didn't get the missing link Optimus Prime, I need that Cliffjumper because somebody finally put respect on Cliff's name. And whoo, that makes me happy. Anywho, AR, what do you think of those kinds of things? Whoo, people are popping in. Good to see everybody. You're leaving now? Well, hopefully you heard that question. See you around, man. Wreck ship! Look at that shaven, manly chin. I don't know that I'll give it a manly chin kind of thing, but I am stoked to be shaven. This makes me happy. Gunstar. I had to prioritize MP scale robots over Mezco SHF. And Mezco, sadly, but can enjoy vicariously. I'm going to guess one of those Mezcos was MAFEX, and I totally get it. I think I'm to that point where I'm going to start prioritizing a little bit of MAFEX over all else. Mr. Element, hello. Thank you for stopping by. Oh, wait, there's more. Those missing link figures are cool, man. Yeah, I was just talking about, you might have been here, or you might have been here when I was talking about it, but Cliff Jumper. Like, Cliff Jumper was one of my, he and Gears were my very first Transformers. And we all know Gears never gets any love, and Cliff Jumper's love tends to be Red Bumblebee repaint. So just seeing this makes me really happy. I mean, I might, if I like when I don't want to say if, because I'm right there. Guys, I swear I'm right at that turning the corner. I'm right at the corner. When I turn that corner, I might start picking up some missing link figures. Yeah, they're pricey, but man, they look so good. And Cliff Jumper, that makes me crazy happy. Let's see. I don't know if you saw my message on Patreon, but Lenny started following me on Instagram this week. Even shared one of my posts. Rexship, that is rad, dude. I saw that I had a message on there. I will be sure to check it out. That is awesome. Congratulations. Lenny seems like a really cool dude. Especially since he's out there sharing your pics. Just wanted to say thank you for your help working on my figure photography. Man, you do all the work. I just provide a few things that hopefully can help out. So you crushed it. So nicely done. I mean, it is very cool that Lenny's out there sharing your photos. So yeah. Ah, man. I gotta get back to those pics. So here's what's going on right now. I'm still working on that freebie. Once that freebie's done and up in marketing, then I can start doing the Toypixx thing, because with the freebie going, then I'll start getting more clients that way. And then I can start doing the Toypixx stuff and working on that freebie. And yeah, it's just when it's only one, when it's just me trying to find the time to get it all done sucks. So I finally had to say, okay, this is how I have to prioritize it so it works in my head. That's why I haven't been able to do much when it comes to Toypixx. But what kills me is what I know I need to do for Toypixx is beyond a lot. So yeah. But man, yeah, you did all the work. I was just there to help along. Now, the real reason we're all here, the reason that I'm so excited, the very first thing I saw when I looked at my Instagram this morning was Praeternia having posted this picture showing that we are in fact getting Rogue. Wow. Okay. So I was reading comics during Jim Lee's run and all that good stuff, right? The blue team for the first 3 issues. Now keep in mind, I have the Wolverine in the brown suit. So the blue team for the first 3 issues was Cyclops, Psylocke, Gambit, Beast, Wolverine in his brown suit, and Rogue. So basically, what I could be happy with here is if after Rogue comes out, MAFEX just says, okay, we're throwing Beast at you. Suddenly, my blue team is complete. Now, if I ever get that Tiger Stripe Wolverine, then you could also make the argument that Jubilee now belongs as well. So if I get that Wolverine, then I'll be sitting here going, man, I need Jubilee. And they should probably make an Apocalypse and a Sabretooth and a Mystique. And who else? There's all kinds that they need to do, let's be honest. But yeah, I saw this and I'm going, wow, I kind of thought that they weren't going to, like, it didn't feel like they were going to go back to the 90s X-Men stuff. And now I'm looking at this going, holy crap, it maybe has taken years. I don't know when the Wolverine, the Tiger Stripe Wolverine came out. I think it was 2019. So by the time she comes out, it'll be 2025. It will have been 6 years and we'll be 1 figure away from completing the X-Men Blue Team. At least the X-Men Blue Team from the first 3 issues. So Yeah. Oh, and we'll also need the rest of the gold team. We have Jean, we have Storm. So we need Bishop, we need Archangel, we need Iceman, we need Forge. We probably need a Banshee. We need a Professor X. Holy crap. And then we got to go all, oh, yeah, I got to stop dreaming. Because we all know that this stuff, for all that to happen, we're going to be dead. But still, can't wait to dream. But yes, I am stoked about this. I can't wait to see the full reveal. I remember how she was, well, I mean, like I said, I was reading the comics at the time with my impressionable, let's see, how old are teenage? Yeah, teenage mind, I think, maybe a little younger. But we all know the shape that Jim Lee drew these characters in. But what a lot of people maybe didn't pay attention to was how they were colored on the side. So, like where we're seeing the green there on Rogue, where it's shinier, that's kind of what the look was. It looked like there was just a lot more definition in that area. And where the yellow was, they didn't color it quite so hardcore. Like, so you get really large black, like shadow in here with a little strip of green and all that. So Mafex really has paid attention, at least as far as the colors, when it comes to what we're at least looking at on the picture here. So that's exciting to me. Whew. Wreck ship. A Mafex Archangel would be so sick. You know what I was thinking earlier, and this has nothing to do, obviously, with blue or gold, but a Mafex Nightcrawler. I mean, you're right. An Archangel would be ridiculous. Imagine them coming out with, like, in the same month, they come out with an Archangel and an Apocalypse. That would be insane. And now I kind of need that. I was even thinking, wait, how is it that Mafex is the only company out there that's never done the Turtles? And I started thinking about it. I think Mafex knows they'd have to release all four at the same time. And I don't know that they've ever done a box set like that. So I'm wondering if it's in the pipeline and they're just trying to figure out how to release it. Which, again, has absolutely nothing to do with X-Men. Or Rogue, who is an X-Men. Harry! Can we hope Rogue has some junk in her trunk? We can hope, Harry, but sadly, I think what we're going to end up with, I don't know if you have the Psylocke Mafex figure, but we all know how Jim Lee drew the ladies back then. Psylocke is not the same shape that Jim Lee drew the ladies back then. So my guess is she is not going to be meme worthy in case there is somebody with an apocalypse standing around. But I think she'll still look good just because that's what Mafex does. But I thought what might be kind of fun would be to go through some of the stuff that Mafex is just putting out because it's insane. Wait a sec, what's this? Hold on. Oh, whoa. Okay, hold on, guys. Hold on. This is, I don't know that I will call anything I ever put up breaking news, but I do want to show this real quick because I went to, hang on here, I went to BBTS and I just saw this. The Dark Knight Tumbler and Batpod Deluxe 1/12 scale model kit. Both of them for $125 at 1/12 scale. I wondered if companies would start doing more model kits because it seems to me that if they don't do assembly at the factory, they can sell them for cheaper. And that way they can keep selling stuff because people, I think a lot of people seem to be getting priced out. But like that's the same, that's just a little more than what you can get some Mafex figures at BBTS for. Oh my god, that thing looks insane. I don't really care about a bat pod, but I do think a 1/12 scale tumbler would be fun. Did that have a light too? Hold on. Okay. Oh, good, good, good. It does come in all the, like the parts are already the right color, it looks like. Hold on, I want to see. Man, okay. Sorry, guys. I got to look at the description of this thing. I want to know if that bat signal comes with it. Let's see. Fully articulated. Model kit does come pre-painted. Oh, tumbler bat pod. Oh, okay. The bat signal doesn't come with it. But that's a pretty sweet deal, I think, for 125. That looks good. All right, what's everybody else saying? Since this is the first time I've seen that, man, I wonder if MAFEX would make Apocalypse normal size or they do a larger deluxe size. I'm waiting to see what they do with Bane because I think we'll be able to figure a lot of that stuff out from Bane himself. And it does look like Bane is going to be the proper size. So they probably would need to upscale Apocalypse a little bit from Bane, but wouldn't have to get too crazy. And then, oh man, dare to dream. Now I'm sitting here thinking, what about the Hulk? Like, what would they do with him? Because the Hulk doesn't have to be a massive monster or anything. He could be like an 8 or 9 inch tall figure. So yeah, like that's I think Bane is going to answer a lot of those questions for us whenever he shows up. Jahir, hello. By the way, Jahir, I've been pronouncing your name like that. I don't know if that's right. Let me know, will you? Because for whatever, my name's Dave, and it bugs me when I don't get names right or when other people don't get names right. So and the reason I bring that up is I'm like, nobody ever screws up my name. Why does it bug me so much? But it just does. That Batmobile looks sick. I totally agree. Like that is really cool. I need him to start doing that for like the 89 Batmobile. That's what I'd like to see. That is how you pronounce it. Awesome, Jahir. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Okay. Anyway, sorry. I got sidetracked, but I think this thing looks cool. Let's see if I can get out of here and have it so you guys are still seeing what I'm seeing. Yep. All right, cool beans. What are these? All right, stop, Dave. Stop. Stay on target. And I thought we'd just do like a rundown of the stuff. Let's see, relevance. Let's go with new and popular. Of all the stuff that's been announced, that's coming out, new and popular. I'm pretty sure Nightwing's not new and popular. However, he is in stock if any of you have missed him, and he's a great figure. Let's see. Oh, I hate that John Wick sold out. I'm telling you guys, this is the line that I would just go nuts for. All right, let's find. Here we go. Okay, I think we're about. Wow, we're about here. Look at this. Okay, we're just going to go through some of these. You guys can tell me what you think. I'm not like I would be if I were somebody who just decided I'm all in on MAFEX. It is the one line that I would say I'm all in on. Although I can't say that. I think I might be all in on anything Jaded were to do as well. But yeah, it's difficult for me to talk about MAFEX objectively just because I think they're such good figures. I do wish their photographer did a better job at hiding some things. Like, see how the elbows here are like that? The elbows there really are like that. Like, I can't sugarcoat that. But you don't, like, when they're, most of the time, if you're sitting there posing your MAFEX figures, they're bent at the elbows. So you never see this. And you're not against a stark white background. But again, if you are against a stark white background, you're bending elbows. But yeah, man, I think, whoa, that's not bad. It's not perfect, But I do think MAFEX is getting better on their faces. Like that was the one complaint I would say I had on earlier figures. Yeah, it's difficult for me to look at MAFEX figures and just be like, yeah, I don't need it. But one of the things that happened is when I looked at the pictures this morning, or when I saw that picture of Rogue, I just went back through all the MAFEX figures that are supposedly, or they're supposed to be coming out soon, and my mind was blown by just the quality of the releases, by the sheer insane character selection. Evening, Mr. Matson. Thank you for stopping by. I got cheesy there. Hate when that happens. I have been watching a lot of Norm Macdonald, so if I sneak some of that in, that's why. So glad they're finally reissuing Clone Wars Rex. You know, I saw that and I thought that was very cool. The one thing, because I'm always going to have a complaint, it's me when it comes to Hasbro. Hasbro, it's like they have an impossible task. They just can't please me. Although I was holding on to, I went to Target for the first time in forever today, and I almost bought Scarlet. I thought Scarlet looked pretty amazing, but I just thought, not yet, because I'm at that point. I need to load up on the MAFEX. I have to go back and pick up the Poison Ivy that Sure Thing Toys never delivered to me before they went out of business. So I gotta go find her and then start playing a little bit of catch up with MAFEX. Then I gotta start playing some catch up with some 3-0, some Jada, some Classified, some NECA Mirage Turtles. It's a mess. Anyway, going back to Rex, they've repainted him now. Is this the first repaint, or is this the not repaint, but like the reissue? I know they were going to reissue him at least once, and that fell through. Is this his first reissue? And I ask because it seems to me with the reissue, unless they just wanted to totally keep it black box and make it look old school, that they could have given him just a couple more hands. I want more hands with that. Like I almost pulled the trigger on Rex, believe it or not. And I thought, in fact, I did pre-order him the first time he went up for reissue. But today I was like, they teased us for so long and he never happened. The least they could have done was give us some like open hands for holstering, Yeah, I pre-ordered that Dark Knight vehicle model kit. Nice, Eric. Congratulations. That thing looks incredible. And I love that it already comes pre-painted. And that price does not seem unreasonable to me, but I could be wrong. Like, I'm probably not the right person to talk to about price. Like, the only way I can really do it is, for instance, if I were to pick up a Jada Street Fighter figure and a Marvel Legends figure, they're both $25. I could look at them and be like, okay, this one's way cooler than this one. But if I pick up a G.I. Joe figure for 25 and a Jada one for 25, they're pretty close. So anyway, yeah, that's basically what I do for pricing chat. I just don't know enough about just don't know enough. That Nightwing looks so freaking accurate to the source material. I was lucky to get a hold of that Nightwing. He's very cool. Like he's like simplicity perfected. Like they don't all have to be super complicated. He obviously doesn't have a complicated costume, and they just nailed it. And sometimes simple can be tough to get. The MAFEX John Wick is missing his dog. If you know, you know. Oh, why? Why you gotta hurt us all like that? We gotta be able. Did the first one come out with a dog? Just got the Gambit MAFEX today. Okay, how do I pronounce that? Is that Nilok? Nilok 28? Let me know. But congratulations. I genuinely believe that no company should even bother making a 1/12 Gambit after MAFEX made theirs. Like, that Gambit that you got that thing's perfection. I know because I have that one. And there's no reason for me to ever get another Gambit. See, insanely good figure. Yeah, I completely agree. That's one thing about a lot of the MAFEX stuff that I end up getting is perfect. Like, I haven't gotten so much just perfection from any other line. So I think that's something that really makes me happy about MAFEX too. You hear, whenever I see a movie where a dog dies, I want to hunt down the madman who made that movie. Man, I have a problem. Like, it's insane. I can handle a war movie. I can handle like ninja assassin type stuff. I can handle all that stuff. But if a kid dies in a movie or if an animal dies in the movie, I don't want anything to do with it. I don't know that I've ever actually seen Old Yeller all the way through. But like John Wick, oh, I hated that the dog died, but I love who John Wick became because of it. Like, no, man, you killed my dog. Now you're all gonna die. Like, I think it was a great setup, but I am with you. Like, that drives me crazy. Yep. All right, let's head back here. Check out a little more. I think this is the Batman that I first remember seeing in comics. Now, I will say from a design perspective, I do think I like the look of the Hush Batman more, but I still like this one's nostalgia. This one is the Batman that I grew up with. And he looks so good. And as much as I love my Hush Batman, this cape looks like it's not going to be insane. That Hush Batman cape, that thing is tough to pose. And it wouldn't be so bad if they had added just a couple more, I think one more wire down the center would have done a lot. But this Batman looks pretty perfect. And he's got the flat cape, like he doesn't have, so obviously he's got the spiky things going on, which is cool. But what I would probably do was I would probably put this top head on this cape, because I can't remember the name. Who remembers the name of the artist that did this with like the crazy ears like that and the crazy spiky cape? I can't remember the name, but I know that me being the basic Dave that I am, I would put this head on this cape and be good to go with bats. Although this head is so expressive, I would definitely have to use that. I probably wouldn't use this. I mean, I'd probably take a couple shots with this head, but that'd be about it. It was Kelly something, wasn't it? God, I love how they posed him up. And I don't think he's a repaint either. People were talking about that. If he is a repaint, he might have more in common with the Hush Superman than he does with the Hush Batman, because like the ab section specifically. There we go. I will break you. Yeah, I think he's going to be glorious. And I don't have any of these on pre-order yet. Got to work on that still. Do you hear? When a squirrel dies, it's sad. When a cat dies, it's sad. But when a dog dies, now it's personal. Now you crossed the line. It is, and it does seem to be dogs, doesn't it? Like, it seems that those are the things that always bite it in movies when we're talking animals. There's a website called Didn't Dog Die or something that let's see, yelled you if the dog died, so you can determine if you want to see that movie. Dude, I will be visiting that website. Did the dog die? Yep, I'm out. Except, like we were just talking about, John Wick, if that had been the thing, I never would have seen any of those movies. And those movies are just fun. Like, those are straight up fun flicks. Does the Dog Die is the site name. Got it. Thank you, sir. Yeah, I love John Wick stuff. Is just like, it's just fun. So I'm a fan. See, the shoulder pad Batman was my first introduction to your channel. Awesome, man. That's sweet. This is the one, huh? The one with big spikies on the shoulder pads? Yeah, I remember talking about. I'm stoked about him. I think he's cool. It was a short, right? Let's see. Ooh, Nine Tails 978. MAFEX is really growing on me. Nine Tails, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate that. And yeah, I think like my channel has always been focused more on action figure photography. And I think MAFEX is the one. Like Mezco is good, don't get me wrong, when it comes to accessories. And a lot of their stuff looks good. I mean, I don't want to sit here and just say that they're not great. I think they are. I think they do look really good. It's just sometimes with the materials on the figures and everything, I'm kind of like, I don't know. Should I go for that or not? And I know sometimes just because of the cloth goods, they can't bend as much as these. So I think there's a strong argument to be made for Mezco as well as MAFEX, but my preference when it comes to photography is definitely MAFEX, just for all those reasons, man. I love them. Let's see, hello there. Did MAFEX make an Obi-Wan? MAFEX needs to make an Obi-Wan. Gunstar, the mouse dying in the Green Mile. Oh, why? Oh, yep. Oh, dang it. I have let loose the dogs of weakness. My weakness. I gotta get that MAFEX Rogue to partner with that Gambit. And you know she's gonna be perfect. She's gonna be fantastic. Hang on just a sec, guys. I don't have my phone right here and I see it's blowing up. Whew. All right. And I hate when it's blowing up. Let me see what we got. Let's see. All right. So mom will text once in a while in the middle of this stuff. And she says, I don't like doing it and everything, but sometimes like she'll try and bust me if maybe a screen's not getting shared, stuff like that. This time she texts and she says, you are sick. John Wick is fun? What's wrong with you? Everybody, let mom know that John Wick is indeed a fun series of movies. Man, my poor mom. No taste, that woman. Recent Batman and Bane McFarlane 2-pack is peak. See, I don't know, man. That one's tough for me. I'm in this spot where I'm just kind of apathetic towards Hasbro at this point, right? I like a lot of their G.I. Joe stuff, but overall, I'm apathetic towards them. When it comes to DC Multiverse, I'm just straight up disappointed. Like when it comes to Hasbro, I understand all their excuses. I understand shareholders, licensing, blah, 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 profit margin. They're going to throw all that stuff at you, whether it's true or not. So I get it. But because of it, their product can't improve, basically, except for G.I. Joe. So I get it, but I'm apathetic toward it. When it comes to McFarlane Toys, I feel like they should be so much better than they are. And that's the thing. Like, if McFarlane were making 1/12 scale, I'll even give it to you. If they were making 1/10 scale figures that every one I looked at, I thought, man, those look really good. I would be tempted. But like, even the ab stuff and around the diaper, they just don't cut them enough. Like, I want to like McFarlane Toys. DC Multiverse. McFarlane Toys, really. But it's like Hasbro is in a weakened position right now. This is when Todd should be just jumping all over them and delivering the best stuff out there. And he's just not. At least to me, he's not. But I totally get if other people are way into it. It's just, like I say, man, with Hasbro, I'm just apathetic at this point. But with McFarlane Toys, I expect better out of the Todd Fathers company. And it makes me sad and a little disappointed that it's not. Did you hear? I love the fact that Bane never stops talking about breaking Batman's back. I mean, that's kind of a big deal in the criminal underworld. Look, the bat. I'm trying to think. What country is he from? I know it's South America. Let's see. Totally agree with you. Thank you, Nine Tails. I loves me the MAFEX, man. I gotta get more shot of these things. Mezco accessories are amazing, but I like playing with MAFEX more. And that's kind of what I was thinking, you know. I love, like, when I see the loadout of a Mezco set, I'm just like, man, they thought, I mean, there's no way that I can look at Mezco and say, these people just don't care. They obviously care with a lot of the Easter egg stuff they have in there. So yeah, that's why my preference might be MAFEX for this stuff. But I would never argue with somebody that said, whoa, Mezco is my favorite. I'd be like, hey, man, fair enough. I get it. Let's see. Did you see that they were getting 1.5 version for Amazing Yamaguchi Joker? No. Ooh, I'll have to check that out, too. I got to get into Yamaguchi, man. I got to get into Amazing Yamaguchi. That looks like one of those lines that's just going to totally crush my wallet. I'll get Amazing Yamaguchi one a month, get a couple MAFEX a month, you know, no big whoop, and then try and collect everything else. Because, you know what? I should do that stuff. That's the good stuff. That would make me happy. Jahir, we get it, Bane. That's in your prep. That's true. You know, Bane's like this old guy walking around the the villainous nursing home right now. He's got his walker. He's like, I broke the bat. And I don't know why his voice got all shaky there. But I guess that can't work for us so much because then Batman would also be in the nursing home. That would be fun. Have Batman in a nursing home with all the old villains. They just sit around reminiscing, I bet. That'd be how it would. Let's see. That Batman composes Neil Adams' Batman also. That's true. That is totally true. The capsule belt and everything. Let's see. Yes, full apathy is set in on Marvel Legends. I love that you can get semi-posable statues from just about every version of the DC universe from McFarlane. That's the thing, man. I'm just like, oh, I just can't do it anymore. Like Captain Rex, he does look good, but in my head, I was just like, Hasbro, you could have just given him some hands, just given him something else. And yeah, it is, aside from G.I. Joe, it's straight up apathy. But with McFarlane, it's just disappointment because he doesn't have the same restrictions, or at least the same excuses that Hasbro likes to throw out there. Nine Tails, I agree. It was really hard to pose my McFarlane Heath Ledger Joker. Yeah, and this wasn't me, like, you know, I'm sure a lot of people would say, well, you know, of course you don't like him, you don't get him or whatever. So I got the first Batman, what were they called? Page punchers, like the first 7-inch Batman page punchers. He didn't move hardly at all. And I also got, because people had said, get the Lobo. The Lobo could move, but the colors were so mismatched throughout him. And I was like, why? Like, it didn't make sense to me. And it was, the color that was mismatched was white. It wasn't this ultra complicated color that you needed to get right, you know? It's kind of like the 89 Batmobile that came out from McFarlane with the gray canopy. Like, why? How does that stuff happen? So, yeah. Let's see. I got the Felix Toys Clown Heath Ledger Joker. He's awesome. He looks awesome. I think Robo did a thing with him. He looks incredible. Is he the one? I think Robo brought up the fact that it was like they cut out material on the inside of the jacket so it would lay more properly against him. I think that was the one. And he said it just looks incredible because of that. Jahir, the Titan Chemicals did a number on Bane when he got older. You know, maybe that's it. Maybe he just aged prematurely. He's like a clone from the Clone Wars. Okay. let's get out of here. I think that the next figure we're going to look at here, I think this guy is going to answer a lot of questions for a lot of people. How are they going to handle? I'm going to turn on a light real quick. Sorry, guys. There we go. How is MAFEX going to handle this big brute? I mean, he looks perfect. One thing there, the shoulders are out a bit. They probably could have squeezed that in, but maybe not. Maybe not. Because you'll see how big his arms are. They might not drop down to the sides very well. And you know that I'm going to sit here and defend MAFEX as much as I can. But looking at that, yeah, it looks like maybe they can drop down a little bit. I wonder. Yeah, they probably actually posed him that way just so he could look a little more imposing. Imposing. Yeah. This one's going to answer how they would handle characters like the Hulk, how they would handle characters like Apocalypse. I'd say Beast, but I'd prefer that Beast were about the same height as Cyclops. Just because like you had big, bulky, hairy-looking dudes in comics way back when, and it works with the Thing as well, although he's considerably less hairy, they were still about average height. Like they weren't way over everybody else. So I'd like to see, like if MAFEX were to tackle the Fantastic Four, I'd like to see Thing just be basically the same size as Cyclops, Beast be basically the same size as Cyclops, that kind of thing. You Cyclops is kind of your average, although they could both probably be a little shorter than he is. But all I'm saying there is, I don't think we need to model Thing and Beast off of Bane, but Apocalypse, Hulk, those kinds of characters. This guy is going to be exciting just because of all the questions he's going to answer. Yep. Still talking about that, aren't you, Bane? Yeah, he looks good. Let's see, a moment of silence for Heath Ledger. Yeah, he was incredible. The Dark Knight was one of the best comic book movies. You know, when you walk out of a movie and you were so blown away by it, you can't talk about it when you walk out of the movie. Like, has that ever happened to you guys? That happened to me with The Dark Knight. Like, I walked out and I couldn't even speak. I was just like, wow. And I just said I couldn't speak. I did not actually verbalize wow. The wow stayed in my head. I was just blown away by that movie. Harry, yeah, that Felix Toys clown is great. Whew. Would love to see a Batman from them. Man, I got to get more into third party stuff. Like, yeah, it's insanity. Who needs wallets anyway? Is it me or do the feet look too small for Bane? I'll go back in a sec. Let's see. That was me for Endgame. Yeah, Endgame was ridiculous too. Spider-Man 2, Dark Knight, Blade, the best comic book movies in my opinion. I don't know if I've ever seen Blade. I got to go see Blade, don't I? Like, I remember at the time people were saying the one with Ryan Reynolds wasn't very good, but the first one people were just blown away by. I didn't dig the Raimi Spider-Man movies as much as a lot of people did, just because he wasn't as funny as I would think Spider-Man would be in the suit. He wasn't like lame, he just wasn't there. There was just something a little off to me for the characterization. Well, they aren't Liefeld feet, as in they're actually there. All right, hang on. Let me go back to Bane here. See if we can get a good. I don't know. We've got a little bit of forced perspective going there. Kind of hard to tell. They might be. That's probably about the best look. Oh, here we go. Okay, I'd say if we look at it at this angle, the length of the feet look a little better. I'm going to wonder how his legs almost look a little, hold on. Like we were talking the other night about Amazing Yamaguchi, about how their legs look really thick, so they almost look stumpy. No, that looks about right. I was thinking that maybe the lower half of the legs was a little short, but I think they're about right. But this is why I'm talking when I talk about the MAFEX photography. Something there just doesn't look like the way they set that shot up. It just doesn't seem quite right. This, though, once in a while, like that is a great shot. Really showing off what he can do. Yeah, I think I was kind of with you for a minute. But then when I got to this picture, I think his feet look like they're going to be just fine. Mr. Savage! Winter Soldier rounds out my top 5 best comic book movies. Winter Soldier is really good. Winter Soldier is the Captain America trilogy, besides the Avengers, was my favorite group, my favorite set of movies, and Winter Soldier topped those easily. And I actually really liked First Avenger too. I know it didn't do great at the box office comparatively. I thought it was great. Did everyone catch the Liefeld reference in the Deadpool Wolverine trailer? It's a shoe store called Liefeld. Oh, I did. I did. Anybody else out there see that? That's it was the part where they're walking out from behind like the hot dog cart or whatever, and you see it showing up on the top of one of the buildings, like a sign at the top of one of the buildings. And it's just as they turn to start walking towards the camera, that sign is pretty much directly behind them. So if you did miss it, that's where it's at. See, I am so hyped for Deadpool 3. Deadpool 3 is going to be a blast. Like that's another one of those fun movies, like John Wick. Harry, not enough pouches for Liefeld. That might be true. We might need, you know what, though, if they're going to insert that Liefeld joke, maybe we'll get a bunch of pouches on somebody in the movie. Sorry I'm late. Thursday is movie night with a bud. John, that is just fine, man. Don't worry about it. What did you guys see? See, that Bane is pretty cool. Yeah, we were talking about how this one might answer a lot of questions when it comes to how MAFEX handles its larger characters in the future. For me, it's the Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. I wonder, I don't think, oh, guys, this is another instance of me being a bad nerd. Amazing Spider-Man's the Andrew Garfield, right? The only Andrew Garfield I've seen in Spider-Man is No Way Home. I thought he was fantastic, but I've never seen The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. Oh, Binobi. Yep. I might need to start like making nerd cards. You guys remember when the man card thing was a thing? I might need to start just making nerd cards and just handing it to the monitor every time I bust myself on being a bad nerd. All I hear is the Harley Quinn Bane voice now. I need to watch that too. Here's another bad nerd card. I've heard that show is incredible, and I haven't been watching it. To hear Deadpool is the Messiah. He is Marvel Jesus. It's just gonna be straight up ridiculous. And I can't wait for it. We finished Fallout. That was Fallout was a game too, right? Look at this. In the past like 3 minutes, I would have handed out like 4 bad nerd cards. I'm not sure. I haven't heard about Fallout as far as a movie or anything. We saw Fall Guy last weekend. It was fun. I heard that Fall Guy was actually a good movie. It's just people didn't go to the box office for it. Like, they didn't go out to the theaters. And I kind of wonder if that's a thing where people are to the point where we're just going to watch the stuff on streaming that doesn't look like we have to be at the theater for it. So, like, when a big event, blockbuster type movie comes out, I wonder if those will still do well at the theaters. But then something like The Fall Guy, which didn't look like it was just this massive CGI, sound bombastic affair or anything like that. I wonder if movies like that just aren't going to do as well in the box office or at the box office. It had musical cues from the Miami Vice stunt show, Bionic Man, and The Fall Guy, of course. That's awesome. I vaguely remember some of the music in Miami Vice. Not the Bionic Man, though. And I remember my folks, my dad and my grandpa, I think, were both into The Fall Guy. So I saw that a few times. Let's see. Yes, Fallout is a series of computer games, which I've never played, but my buddy is a big fan. Nice. That's awesome that you guys got to check that out. Let's see. It's a series on Amazon Prime. Okay. I've got Prime. I should watch it. Let's see. We watch 2 episodes of Thursday when we don't watch a movie. Okay. Let's see. What's the last thing? The last series I got into was Reacher. And I've liked Krasinski's, oh man, what was it? The Tom Clancy stuff. Oh man, yeah. Basically, Krasinski's Tom Clancy stuff. Wow. I've even seen it and I blanked. But I don't know that I've seen them all the way. Like, I've seen the first episode, I saw the first season and part of the second season. And I think they're on like season 4 now. Let's see. Next week is Ninja versus Shark. Is that another series or is that a flick? That's right, flick. Not from the TV show Miami Vice, but from specifically okay, you did say the stunt show. See, they had to use different music, but it's close. Oh, okay, all right. I do want to check out. I have heard really good things about Fall Guy. See, Jack Ryan. Yes, why the crap couldn't I come up with Jack Ryan? Wow. Thank you, John. Jack Ryan was good. Like, if you guys haven't seen that, I was pretty impressed with that. If you like it's a little bit of terrorist type stuff going on, CIA stuff. Like, I like that kind of stuff. Let's see. Love that and Reacher. Oh, awesome. Okay. Yeah, I saw Reacher. I feel like I binged it in like a weekend. Both seasons just done. I was pretty blown away by that one. Ninja versus Shark is a movie. Got it. Okay. All right, let's get out of here. I want to see, are there any figures that you guys know are coming out that you want to see specifically from MAFEX? Like, I would stop at Cap. I'd stop at Phoenix. I'd stop at Daredevil. I'd probably stop at Luke. Like, I'm starting to think I need to start loading up on MAFEX Star Wars. And then there's another page or so anyway in front of that one, I think, too. I just hope that Deadpool destroys the Star Wars sequel. Oh my God. Oh. I didn't even think of that. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about Marvel crossing over with Star Wars. But if Deadpool destroyed the Star Wars sequel trilogy, that's right, that was a snort. Oh, that would be so good. That would be so good. Oh, what would they do? How would they? You know what? It's Deadpool and Wolverine. They'd pull it off. Oh, God, that is too good. Let's see. Anyone buy the Huntress figure? Harry, I got the Huntress figure. So my complaints with her hand really easily. Like, it's difficult to store her holding her staff. Obviously, she didn't have a crossbow, but that was an edict from Warner Brothers. I'm not bothered by the fact that she has longer shorts, because what they did with those shorts was they gave her a thigh cut. So I think it's the first MAFEX figure, at least that I've got, with a thigh cut. But my only, aside from that, so the hands being loose, I think is a problem. And then the way that her hair was done, it's difficult to move her real dynamically at the neck. I still think she's great, and she's definitely going to be the best Huntress we ever get, but she probably has more problems than your typical MAFEX figure. If you don't have her and you were asking what I thought. See, the Daredevil one is very tempting. Yeah, we'll check out Daredevil, because he's another one that you're just like, that guy needs to have all the articulation, and MAFEX can deliver. I want MAFEX Bespin Star Wars figures. Oh, Eric, you and me both, man. I would do just, if they would just make Empire, but you're right, like, they can't. Obviously, it would take them forever to do that. So if they were to theme it up, Bespin would be really good. But I still want a Dagobah Yoda. Ooh, that's a great call. Because the Bespin figures, you've got all the bounty hunters. You've got basically everybody, with the exception of Yoda. And now you've got everybody. Han's up there, Lando's up there, Leia, Chewie, 3PO, R2, Luke, Darth Vader, Stormtrooper. Yeah, never mind, Eric. You just add Yoda, and I'm totally on your ship. That sounds awesome. Rick Ship. I wish it came with a Murdoch head sculpt, though. I didn't think of this. I wonder how he'd look with the Cyclops. Do you have the MAFEX Cyclops? Nope, there you go. Harry's on it. All right, let's click into Daredevil here. Yeah, see, look at that. I mean, it's a cool pose, but man, the way that they posed his shoulders out there, it gives me Toy Biz vibes. And I know, like, look at that. Then they shoved him in, and he looks perfect. Like, this will be the perfect Daredevil figure. So it's been a while since I've looked at these pictures. So I'm all quiet while I'm concentrating. Man, you get a lot. I do agree. It would be really cool if we got a Matt Murdock head. Ooh. It is ridiculous how good that is. Okay, check out that picture. There's no reason why the photographer didn't squeeze those shoulders more in together, because people will use a picture like that and decide not to get this figure because they'll say, I just don't like the way that they did that MAFEX does their shoulders. No matter how many times any of us sit there and say, dude, get a MAFEX figure, you don't have to do that. Like, and then you get this picture, which they're shoved in beautifully. That's a sweet pose. You know what throws me off there? Totally covering his eyes. Like, that's a subjective thing. Obviously, you can have that pose and you can have the, what is it, the baton or whatever right in front of your face. I get it. It works. But just from a photography standpoint, that would drive me crazy. What I might try and do is maybe cover one eye with the baton and then have the other eye off to the side. God, he comes with so much too. Like, I mean, as far as the billy clubs, I said baton. Billy clubs, guys. Yeah, he's going to be incredible. Jahir, Deadpool would catch a lightsaber and say, "Ooh, shiny, do you have one in red?" While he slices Ray in half and says, "Oh my God, I didn't think that would happen. I'm so sorry." Well, what's even crazier is if he actually did slice her in half and she didn't live somehow. I mean, Darth Maul could handle it. She probably wouldn't die. She'd probably be just sitting there saying, "Haha, I'm not dead yet." All right, so yeah, Daredevil looks incredible. This is my curse, guys. Like any of these I click on, I'm gonna they look incredible. Like I even like, and I'm not a movie guy, but I am actually tempted by this. Even though, check out the joints in the elbows. The joints are a little different. They're not so double jointed, but they're a little deeper. So I'm wondering how they'll move. But I love the way that Captain America was portrayed in the MCU. Like this figure looks really good. And I'm like I said, I'm not a movie guy. I don't collect movie figures. This kind of throws me off. Check out the way the elbow looks there. But man, that is Steve Rogers for sure. He looks a little more like Chris Evans under the mask though than he does here. And yet sometimes you see that and you get the figure and you're like, well, that's quite a bit better. My problem is I would want to use the Chris Evans head. And if it didn't come out better than that, I wouldn't do it. And then I'd feel a little bummed. But yeah, I think he looks good too. You hear while Wolverine is in the background saying, "Do they have one in yellow?" This is something I never thought of, and now I kind of want it to happen. I'm an awful person like that, it seems. But then, oh, this is the character that my collection has been missing since I sold my Marvel Legends figures. I mean, obviously there were a lot of Marvel Legends, a lot of missing characters, but this is the one that I have missed the most. And he's old school Cap too. Like more there. See, they could have pushed that shoulder in better. Like, look at that. People that say he looks really skinny and all that, you look at that picture, no. And what I like, so I don't know today with Captain America, the stripes that are here, like between his chest and his belt, they have like today it goes straight from the center of the star to the center of the belt is a red one, and then it just goes every other one from the center. But way back when, this is how it was. It was a red stripe going to one side of the belt buckle and a blue and a white stripe going to the other side of the belt buckle. And I just love that attention to detail. I think that's so cool. And this cap, I'm telling you, that does not look like a skinny cap. Like his legs look a little skinny. His legs could probably be bulked up a little bit, but you go from his belt up, you don't want to mess with this guy. The comic styling. I do agree with people that say I wish that his face had a little more shading or something going on. I mean, that's definitely Steve Rogers. I like the sculpt, but it feels a little empty. Like it needs a little more here. Fortunately, here, I'd be in it more for Cap, but I'm not going to lie. I do hope that his face comes out better than what we're seeing there. Eric, the Daredevil and Captain America are definitely ones I'm looking forward to. Yeah, man, me too. I can't wait. Like Daredevil is going to be, they're putting some respect on Daredevil just because of how he'll be able to move and everything else. And I think Cap is going to look great with Tony and even Thor, although obviously we need to use some photographic tricks to put Thor in those pictures. Harry, Deadpool versus Star Wars sounds like a good picture challenge. You know what? You almost want to. This is me being terrible, and mine and Jahir's biases popping through. I wouldn't want it to be Deadpool versus Star Wars. I'd want it to be Deadpool versus the sequel trilogy. I think that'd be nuts. Oh wow. Okay. All right. We're gonna get out of there. I still have that list, by the way, of all the stuff we were all going through trying to come up with Thursday themes. I gotta get back into that. Spider-Man pops out of nowhere. Then Deadpool says, "Can we keep him, please? I promise I'll take care of it." That would be comic stylings. That would for sure be in character. The Wolverine says, "No, I already have to deal with you." Dude, Wolverine is the loser in that group for sure. Although I have to say, Spidey, I think, would actually lean more towards Wolverine. Whenever I've seen he and Deadpool in the comics, Spider-Man always looks like, oh, do I have to deal with this guy again? Let's see. They sell MAFEX Thor leg extensions? Do they really? I might have to look into that. Although I think my problem with Thor wasn't the legs so much as it was the torso. The torso felt short, but if I could increase him a little bit, that'd be pretty sweet. Deadpool says, "I take that as an offense, but I take that as a compliment." That's yeah. That seems about right. Okay, and of course, like I said, I would just stop at pretty much anything comic book and common. Like this Jean, look at how well they painted Jean here. If she comes out, and I will say, most of the time when Mafex shows their product shots, the figures do come out that way. That's why, while I will hope that Captain America's face is a little better, I'm not sure it's going to be that much better because their product shots are usually pretty accurate. But this, like the other Jean Grey they did, the 90s style, the gold team, she's kind of tough to mess with. She has, I've talked about before, where she just doesn't look very, she looks really stiff, like from her shoulders up, probably because of the way they did her hair. This Jean looks way less stiff. Yeah, and the way they did that hair, like she's a far more dynamic Jean than the other one. I love that. I forgot about this hair sculpt here. Like the one with the hair waving off like that. And this Jean's head, I mean, all the heads look really good. It's just this one doesn't look as angry as I would expect her head to look. But these two, I think, look really good. Yeah, I mean, I'm stoked about Jean. And I know I keep stopping like these are my own biases as far as what I think's cool. So if you see something and you're like, no, no, stop, stop, I want to look at that, I'm in. But here's another bias here. I've got the SHF Luke from the Mandalorian, but he is much more Return of the Jedi style. This one looks a little, well, I don't know. He did have kind of a flat tunic, didn't he, in Mando? Like this one almost looks more Return of the Jedi style too, except for the black cloak. they were cool with how they posed Luke. And I do think SHF nailed the head sculpt better. But he looks good. I can't help it. I'm sick in the head like that. To hear, I'm more among towards Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Might see if we can find that. Let's see, aiming, got it. Tom Holland, I'm sure MAFEX did that. We'll see if he's coming out anytime soon. See, why do female MAFEX characters make the arms look fragile? I think that's just something with female figures in. Sorry about that, guys. Clearly, I suck at life. Yeah, I was saying, I think that that's something they just do with female figures in general. An awful lot of them do look like they've got really thin joints, like thin arms. But I do think you're right. I think they are unusually thin on MAFEX. Like, if you get an Action Force female figure, the arms are a little thicker and they actually get more range at the elbow than a MAFEX female figure, which is insane, but that is how it works. So that might be something to think about for MAFEX in the future. Maybe they could sit there and say, maybe we should make adjustments here. Let's get back. I want to see. Yeah, I'm stoked about Riddler. I want to go back and get this Mando. This Black Panther, I know he's just a reissue, but man, he looks good. And I think the seat's the only thing that's new, isn't it? He's a reissue and he's a movie figure, but if you guys haven't heard, like when you're a character that's dressed mainly in black, that's a cheat code for photos, man. And that looks good, man. That's a good. Wow. Yeah, if I were into movie figures, this one would have definitely been pre-ordered. That's a great Chadwick Boseman likeness. And that's kind of how you think of him as Black Panther. He's always, he'll laugh a couple times when he's around his family, but he's a pretty stoic guy. So that face sculpt, not only does it look really good, but it's got the character, like it nails the character. Man. Scarecrow, I'm going to need. I know a lot of people were really excited about Superboy. Superboy isn't somebody that I'm going to get just because he was kind of like this for a short time. It wasn't like this was a look that he held on to for forever. But he is a good looking figure. And he's obviously on a smaller body. This is why, depending on how he comes out, we might get a better idea of how maybe a Damian Wayne or maybe a Tim Drake Robin come out too. Probably not Damian. This guy's probably a little big for Damian. I do enjoy that leather coat. It seems a little big. I love this pose. I remember that pose. It does seem just a touch. I don't know, man. It looks like it fits his arms well, but this would be the same thing that I think we're going to run into with Mezco, where we're going to be looking at a pleather piece of material that, if we're not careful, ends up getting ripped, especially if you guys use, say, the shoulder and the elbow joints a lot. Like all through here, it's loose enough where I don't think you're going to get too many problems in here. But like here and here, I don't know. Maybe MAFEX will use different materials. Yeah, he looks good. That's my problem with wanting to do like a MAFEX live stream is I mean, I've got little critiques on stuff, but overall, these figures are so good. Who cares? By the way, if you guys like Steel, like if you like him as a character, this was easily my favorite Mafex figure from last year. This Steel is incredible. Now I'm with, like, I wish he came with a John Henry Irons head as well. But yeah, you will not be disappointed if you get this Steel. Pennywise. My niece is 8 years old and she knows who Pennywise is. I was showing her just a crazy clown in the next aisle. And she's like, why would you show me that? Because it's cool. More Wick. Okay, now you knew, hold on, let's stop here. Look at this guy. Look at 2099. Not one that I'd get, but another one that looks good. I have to say, I do hope that Mafex starts working a little bit on the Spider-Man bodies. I'd like them to be a little taller. I think that the reason that a lot of people think Mafex are small figures is because they're judging it on Spider-Man, who is too small for the rest of the line. Like, the rest of the line is pretty much in line with Marvel Legends, at least until Marvel Legends really started creeping up there. Figured people might want to see 2099, but the one that has me excited, the one that I dedicated basically an entire live stream to, is our boy Forlong here, who you guys brought up that, dude, this is C3PO. Just throw a new head on him, add some gold paint, and you got it. I don't know why I never noticed that. But this has me excited. This has me wondering what the future of Star Wars is as far as Mafex is concerned. And finally, we will go to Tom Holland. Or not Tom Holland, go or Tobey Maguire, because I know a lot of people really dig them some Tobey. I love it, man. Like I said, I'm not the movie guy, but like, look at that. That's perfection. Yeah, it's difficult for me to think anybody is going to be that disappointed with their Mafex figures, except when it comes to the price we have to spend in the US. That's the slight creeper face. See, and that's the one where they just picked the wrong angle. Like, when it looks straight ahead at you, it doesn't look nearly as creepy. But when it's looking down, sorry, there you're kind of like, oh, okay, Peter, look elsewhere, please. I'm kind of skeeved out. That's right, skeeved. Well, BZ, late to the show. I'm all angry about it. I'm really angry, really upset, really ticked off. I'm good. Thanks for stopping by, LBC. I appreciate it, man. I was looking at that figure you sent me, by the way, and I'm just, it is ridiculousness. Like, is it specifically supposed to be a foot fetish action figure? See, oh, yeah, Jahir. That was, yeah, that one stung. I ordered the 2099 knockoff. Way too many people say it's great, and for 20 bucks, not too much of a risk. I don't know if I knew about the knockoff. I mean, like I say, 2099 isn't something I'd probably get anyway, but for 20 bucks, if it's that good, I might consider that. Hopefully they make Andrew Garfield head. You know, I think everybody figured out the workaround except for SH Figuarts. Like, the workaround is basically, oh wait, Andrew Garfield did sign his likeness for, what was it, Amazing Spider-Man 2? So now they're using Amazing Spider-Man 2 packaging. I think MAFEX will probably just do that. And then they'll get that Andrew Garfield head. Like, I'm to the point with my own collecting where I'm not just going to pick up a figure that I don't think's a good figure just because it's a character I want. Like, I would love to have, I really am a Captain America fan. I would love to have the Serpent Society and the Red Skull and Baron Strucker, like all those. I think that would just be a blast. Marvel Legends just ain't it for me. Like, yeah, especially they seem to really excel at dropping the ball on Serpent Society members. But if MAFEX started doing, like, I don't even care if I got 1 or 2 Serpent Society members from MAFEX, or SHF started getting into comic figures more, oh, I would be so stoked. But I want great figures. Like, that's what my collection has gotten to right now. And MAFEX just makes great figures. LBZ, yeah, it's from CT Toys from AliExpress. Okay. I think I was going through Instagram, and I think Matt K from, I don't know if he's still there, but from the Fwoosh, he's the guy that was taking the pictures from them and everything, or for them. He posted it, and he brought up somebody, and it's been a while since I was on the Fwoosh forums, but apparently he said something about there was somebody on the forums that was way into Anna Kournikova and action figure, like female action figure feet. And he's like, whenever I see a picture like this, I think about that person and wonder what they think. But anyway, it kind of struck me funny a little bit. So I saw it from him, and then you sent it to me, and I'm just going, wow. Like, it's not goofy in the fun way like Milk Tea Girl is. It's just goofy in kind of a, huh. I don't know. It's a different kind of goofy in my head. Oops, SHF 2099 knockoff. Okay, got it. Appreciate the clarification there, sir. 2099. Are you out of your mind? All right. But yeah, guys, this is just, I don't know, man. Like, I see MAFEX stuff and I get excited. I get stoked. This is the good stuff. Like, I would even go back and start loading up on The Boys. And I'm not, like, I saw the first couple seasons of The Boys, and then it felt like it was getting shocking just to be shocking. But people have told me that, no, you got to go back and watch it more. I'm going to click on Mando. This is the one that you guys said, no, don't even worry about it. Oh, wait, no, this isn't that one. That's the reissue. We don't want the reissue. We want the one that comes with Grogu. Oh, where are you? I guess I could always just type MAFEX Mandalorian, couldn't I? We'll go one more page, and then we'll see. Like, see, I think that the Mandalorian should be rewarded for those first 2 seasons. So I want to get Bo-Katan. I want to get this Boba. There we go. Oh, man, he's in stock. This is the one you guys said, no, man, just get this Mando. Yeah. Man, that Pedro Pascal head is so good. Is that the best one that's been done in 1/12 scale? Yeah, that's a good looking Mando. And it's not like I'm picking up a bunch of Star Wars lately. And he's got the Darksaber. Oh, this was back when there was so much promise, when we thought, oh my gosh, Din Djarin is going to become the Mandalore. And you can't hate something that comes with a couple of Grogus. That dude cracks me up. See, the OG SHF. Okay, Spidey. The Wolverine MAFEX is always out of stock. I know, man. I was lucky to get the brown suit. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, I want the brown suit. And I was lucky to get that one. But the tiger stripe one eludes me. I actually had him on pre-order at BBTS. And it's the one time BBTS let me down is they couldn't, I guess they just didn't get enough stock to fulfill their pre-orders. Oh, sweet. Yeah, that's what I can't remember who it was specifically. It might have been Harry saying, dude, Mando, the Mafex Mando 2.0, go it. But it's okay. Yeah, I don't know that anybody has come out with a good articulation scheme for Mando. I know that I've seen that the knees on that one aren't even that great. It'll make my top 15 though. He's just good. Like that was when, do you guys remember when, like obviously the sequel trilogy was crazy divisive when it came to Star Wars, but suddenly Mando shows up and it's like Mando is the new Luke Skywalker who's going to save everybody, bring us all together, that kind of stuff. He was awesome. And that third season just kind of was like, never mind. I'm like, no, he was so cool. Oh, I loved that series. Oh, man. All right, guys. I think I'm going to call it. We've gone through the MAFEX. That has made me happy because I love getting the opportunity to go through and look at MAFEX figures. So thank you for indulging me. Thanks for hanging out tonight. As always, it is massively appreciated, especially since I haven't been doing much lately. Got to do more. So with that, have fun. Happy snapping. See ya with Grogu.